We'll comfort her. It's never too late, Fion. Miss? I rest the hand on Fion's shoulder, dirty though it is, and give her a reassuring smile. My companion and I will help you find the ring, isn't that right, Neve? If that is what you wish. Neve drops a neat curtsy, but her expression is cool and inscrutable. That is, if the ring even exists. It's a priceless object I can't stand to be parted from, so I always bring it with me at all costs. I thought it was right in my pocket, but it seems empty. Can't feel the necklace, just lint. Ah, what is it, my lady? Did you lose something? I'm not sure. There's no sense jumping to conclusions just yet. Our pocket's empty, but what about the lint? I searched in there, my fingertips brushing its fabric, but there's nothing there. It's empty. It's gone. That bitch. Neve, who didn't expect my outburst, jumps. What? That little charlatan? She's no obedient puppy after all. She was nothing but a cunning jackal. Oh, Neve, she stole my necromancer's ruby necklace, but my lady, I can bring the dead back to life. I know. If anybody other than skilled mages were to get their hands on it, then I'd be like, alright, it's time, we're gonna follow her, and it's time for me to get out these clothes. But time to turn off this spell. Nobody's allowed to lay so much as a phalanx on her, and if you do, I will make you suffer. I know magic that can turn bones into dust. I'll grind you down, I'll feed you to my pet hellhound in the nightmare citadel. I'll hurt you so badly you'll remember what dying feels like all over again. Do I make myself quite plain? It's got to look between one another and their empty eye sockets. They hang your skulls. Your shoulder bones slump. Good. I all but purr the world. Now go back to where you came as great dark witch Viola I command you. If that little performance wasn't enough proof for you, I can always do this. With the click of my fingers, I revert the magic I was doing to disguise my normal clothes. My casual attire melts away to reveal my long dark gown, decorating my feathers. Fion's eyes practically bulge out of her head at the magic show. I can't believe it. No way. Well, you better start believing in it. I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance. You disgusting, swindling little bitch. Now I think you have something that belongs to me in your pocket. Would you care to give it back? Of course, if you're feeling brave, you can always refuse. But then I'd have to pull your spinal column out of your body through your mouth. Maybe my teasing was a little too much for Fion. Skeletons must have been frightening enough for her, the poor thing, without encountering the fearsome dark witch on top of that. So she faints. Her eyes roll back in her head and her body slumps against the dirty ground, as limp as a rag doll. Oh dear indeed. Neve approaches Fion's fallen form. She retrieves a branch from the ground and pokes Fion's side. Fion doesn't move. I think you scared her half to death. Oh, only half? I raise an eyebrow. Then she'll be fine. She had better be fine at least. I haven't even began to punish her properly yet. Hey, what's going on? Why are you doing this to me? Oh, isn't it obvious? No, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I glanced down at Fiona, and after she fell unconscious, Neve carried her, princess style, to the bank of a small river that flows through the forest. Riverbanks are always thick with mud and silt, and this particular river is no exception. Though it would be a perfect place to start my life re-education program. I woke Fiona none too kindly with a splash of cold water to her face. Then, when she was still spluttering and confused, I ordered her to sit in the dirt on her hands and knees. She tried to protest a little at first, but when I reminded her of who I was, she soon fell silent. Her face pale, obviously afraid of further rebukes. Fiona immediately sunk down into the ground in the mud. That's when I decided to enact stage 2 of my plan. I call it the human chair. I'm pressing the full weight of my behind on the back of Neve's back. Her spine dips inward to accommodate my weight, which in turn pushes her palms and knees more firmly against the mud. Fion whimpers. This is weird. Oh. I press down a little more firmly against her back. The mud between me and Fion squelches in a satisfying way. This little thief girl was dirty before. She's positively filthy now. Thinking about it makes me feel contented. It's a strange kind of happiness. I feel like I'm a cup that's been completely filled to the brim with sweet sparkling wine. What? Are you not enjoying this? Of course I ain't enjoying this. Who would? I think you should consider it a privilege having the great dark witch Viola use you as a chair. Aren't you glad you can be useful to me? But who'd be glad about something like this? Fion squirms beneath me. Her face is red and her eyes are narrowed from concentration. It looks like she's using all her energy not to collapse beneath my weight. You're heavy. Now look here. Neve takes a step forward, her eyes narrow. Sparks begin to crackle at her fingertips. How dare you insult my lady's weight after everything she's done for you? You should count yourself lucky she hasn't turned you into a pile of cinders. You're getting off remarkably easy despite the gravity of your crimes, so don't you dare make fun of my lady. She's worth 10 of you. She's heavier than 10 of me too. Why you, Neve? I hope up the one hand, signaling for her to stop. I appreciate Neve's fierce loyalty, but I don't want her to burn this little thief girl like she did with Blick at the market. Please let me handle this. But she's insulting you, and that's why it'll be all the more fun to break her down. I like a girl with a little bit of fire in her. It makes things more entertaining. I press my weight down even more firmly against Fion's back. She gasps in pain. The palms of Fion's hands and tips of her fingers are driven deeper and deeper into the dirt, like tense pings. Fion's whole body is splashing with mud, but now it sticks to her chest and her arms and her stomach. If only it was chocolate, I might be able to lick it off with the point of my tongue. What? But that's just an idle fantasy. Pinning a girl like this down beneath me and slowly drawing my tongue over her. What? Sounds like a fun bonding exercise. Yes, a bonding exercise. Well, maybe it would be more fun if it was a bondage exercise. I knew they were into it. I knew it. Aren't you starting to feel good, Fion? Do you feel honored having me use you as my personal chair? Or cruel women like you should be baked alive in the underworld. How dare you? Neve? I hold up a hand once more. Neve's a lot more fire than she looks, particularly when I'm the subject of conversation. I'll need to keep a close eye on that. I like your attitude, little thief girl. It's too bad you won't be able to argue against me with that pretty mouth of yours for much longer. What do you mean? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to break you down. I'm going to grind you to dirt until you realize how lowly pathetic you are compared to me. Right now, you're nothing more than a piece of furniture. Do you understand? You're stupid. That's right, you're a chair. I hate you. After I saved your life. I raised an eyebrow. You'd been torn to pieces if it wasn't for me. Well, maybe you have a point. Then why don't you try showing a little humility, But it's embarrassing. Oh, her flushed face, fleckled with dirt, really is charming. I wonder if I can make her blush even more. You're embarrassing now, are you? Well, you're embarrassed now, are you? Why don't we just see how much more I can embarrass you, my cute little thief girl? I'm going to grind her down. I'll make her mine no matter what. No method is too dirty. No trick is too underhanded. In the end, I always get what I want. Where exactly are we going? It's a fair question, I suppose. After using Fion as my own personal chair, I asked Neve to wash the dirt and mud from her body with a bit of magic. Then I asked, more like forced, Fion to walk through the forest with me, flanked by Neve. Furthermore, I once more shrouded my witch's robe in a concealment spell. I don't want to run the risk of running at anybody and giving them a scare. Fion's eyes keep darting here and there like a cornered rabbit, but I make it quite plain to her that she should try. I make it quite plain to her that she should she try to run away, she will be swiftly punished with one of Neve's fire spells. Oh, okay. I was like, I want her to do it. Though unruly and disobedient, I think my thief girl has learned what will happen if she tries to run. She might be obeying me in body, but her eyes still seek to defy my orders. I'll change that soon. We'll just need to go deeper into the forest. You'll fine-tune out, my cute little puppy. Don't call me a puppy. It's not like I'm your dog. It seems like she has a bite. It seems like she has some bite to her, my lady. I can tell, but don't worry, Neve. I'll soon train all the disobedience out of her. You know I can still hear you. Don't talk about me like I'm not here. Oh? Neve narrows her eyes. Are you trying to tell my mistress what she can and can't do? Neve's body crackles with invisible energy. Her eyes glow ominously. My mistress is the feared Dark Witch. Everybody in Azaf knows her names, and everybody fears her. If you answer back once more, I'll punish you. I'll punish you so long and so hard, there won't even be a speck of you left. Fion takes a few steps away from Neve. She clings to my arm. And I thought being with the Dark Witch was bad enough. I think your maid is even scarier than you are. Neve is just overprotective. Don't mind her too much. How can I not mind her when she's glaring at me like that? She's creepy. What did you say? Don't worry about her too much. She won't punish you, not unless I give her the signal. Which I won't. I'm going to give you a different punishment instead. Oh, well, ain't that swell. That makes me feel so much better. It should. This punishment might be more stimulating than you were imagining, and you should live. I pause. Give me a second. The three of us have reached a small clearing at the heart of the forest. There, in the center of the clearing, is a very large, very tall tree with a lot of hanging vines and old, withering branches. This reminds me of a tree that we had in my backyard when I was younger. I forget what the fucking name of the tree. And I was so little at one point I could literally swing on it like I was fucking Tarzan, and like the branches would actually support me, or like the vine. They weren't vines; they were branches, but they hang down like this, and I could literally do it. If only for a little bit of time. We've finally arrived. Fion stares at the tree that towers before us. Her eyes widen, her mouth falls slack. Oh no. She looks back at me. Why did you bring me here? Why not? It's all a part of your re-education program. But this tree, everybody knows about this tree. If you get too close to it, it'll come to life. It catches people in the vines, and then yes, what does it do? Fion's face turns bright red. Horrible things, unspeakable things. I've heard the stories. I'm sure you have too. This tree was, funnily enough, one of my most formidable enemies. One of the most formidable enemies in As of Online. This tree known as a sentient Sakura, is a far higher level than the other monsters in this forest. Its abilities allow it to pick up characters and immobilize them. Caught in the tree's vines and branches, all players' skills become locked, and unless they have team members to free them, all they can do is squirm as the tree depletes their health. For some reason, this enemy always did more damage to the female characters than the male ones. Sometimes it even destroyed female characters' armor. Everybody thought it was some kind of perverse joke. Set up the game developers, perverse joke or not, I don't really care. If this tree can make Fion mind her manners, then I'll consider it an asset. Let's go. Go? But I was like, go? But we only just got here. I don't like the vibe of this place. It's scary. You're not supposed to like it. It's meant to be punishment. I think I'd rather go back to the river if it's all the same to you, miss. You can sit on me as much as you want. Just don't make me go near that tree. I don't want anything to do with it. The poor girl looks so anxious, she's noticeably trembling. Maybe the mere threat of being harassed by this sentiment tree is enough to put her in her place. Do I really need to go through with this? Save. I could always take pity on her just this once. I already saved. She didn't exactly respect me on the way over here either. I'm tempted to push her to the tree. Let's do it. Of course I have to go through with this. I'm the great dark witch Viola. I can't let myself be overcome by the moment of pity. Plus, it's punishment. Not time to pity. I said I was going to punish this girl, and I will. It might be a dirty way to get the job done, but it's so as long as the job gets done, who am I to complain? Oh, stop your whining. I'm an honest woman, and I don't go back on my word. But that's that tree. If you give me up to that tree, it'll kill me. Don't be silly. It won't kill you. It'll just play with you a little. If it goes too far, I'll attack it and make it let go of you. I promise. You're promising me, but you're a dark witch. I don't know if your promises are worth all that much. I might be a dark witch, but like I said, I'm honest. Now forwards you go. Huh? What? I push Fion towards the tree. She stumbles. Kaya! She hits the ground with a dull thud. She holds one hand to her behind and rubs it. Ow, that hurts. And then she pauses. She blinks. Oh no. Her sudden panic scream has awoken the sentient tree. It bears down upon her. It unhurls its vines, and then it scoops Fion into the air and tightens its hold around her waist. After I took the time to effort and re-educate my precious little thief girl, I took her back with me. The nightmare Catal. I couldn't call it kidnapping per se. I just didn't have a choice. I couldn't let Fion go Once she uncovered my true identity, she might blow my cover the next time I went out in the skies, which would not be to my advantage. I did at first worry about her poor starving family, who she claimed she had to support, but after Neve investigated the girl's claims, humanely of course, if you want to stretch the definition of the word humane, we discovered that her story about her family was just that, a story. The thief girl has no mother, and she doesn't have 4 hungry siblings waiting for her back home. Oh, fuck no. She made everything up to con kindly passing strangers out of their coins. She does have a sister, as it transpires, but she lives in an entirely different town. The two haven't seen each other in a while. The poor little thief girl has no friends, no connections, no family. As such, there was no problem taking her back to my home, unless you consider the ethical concerns, which I don't bother worrying about. Now, after having a bath to wash out all the dirt and shame, the thief girl is lying in bed. In my bed, I might add. Her eyes are closed and she's sleeping. Her hair fans about her head across the pillow. She looks peaceful like this. Vulnerable. She's cute. Cute enough for me to forget all the pain that she's put me through. I really am weak against adorable girls. Are you sure this is alright, milady? What do you mean? I'm preferring to bring this girl to your citadel. I don't particularly want to babysit this obnoxious brat, and I doubt you do either. Well, I don't mind the sitting part, but I'd be more than happy to do that if it would further her re-education. I giggle under my breath. Neve still looks unconvinced. She frowns, her arms crossed beneath her chest. I don't know. I know that you enjoy playing with new toys, milady, and I can't fault you for it, but this would probably be a lot simpler if you'd kill her. Oh, Neve, I'm shocked at you. Milady, I'm not a brute or a psychopath. I don't commit murder, especially not for fun, or on a whim. I only unleash my magic on those who threaten me, or even then, I try to settle things diplomatically first. You should know that. Yes, I know. Neve hangs her head, suitably coward, her cheeks flush. I'm sorry, milady, for insinuating. I don't know what we're supposed to do with this pest. Who knows where she's been? She's probably riddled with fleas. Then it's a good thing we gave her a bath, isn't it? And I don't like her sharing your bed either. It just isn't right. You're the owner of the citadel. Your Bundar is a sacred chamber. None save yourself and your most trusted. None save yourself and your most trusted servant should be allowed to enter this room. Oh. I raise an eyebrow. I can't stop myself from smirking. Are you jealous, Neve? I am not jealous. Neve presses her fingertips together and looks down at the floor. Though she doesn't admit it, she's jealous. She's totally jealous. How cute. I'm so lucky I have a maid who's so devoted to me. I just don't think it's proper, that's all. You didn't much care about property? Yeah, when you attacked that poor half-breed at the marketplace. He deserved it. He insulted you, and this thief girl deserves much, much worse than the so-called punishment you gave her. She stole from you, and I can't forgive her. I won't forgive her. You don't need to forgive her, Neve. This little thief is my guest, not yours. I suppose you're right. You can make your own decisions. Of course you can, my lady. In the end, I'm nothing more than a maid. Now, don't look so downhearted. Huh? I take a step closer to Neve. I tilt her head up with my thumb and press a quick, fleeting kiss against her lips. You're much, much more than a maid to me. You should know that already. My lady. Neve's legs tremble despite her immense magical power. She looks like she might collapse at any moment. I brought this little thief girl back here as a little experiment, you might say. Experiment? I want to see how well she integrates to living with me. Though she claims to hate me, living in the Nightmare Citadel must be far superior to living on the streets, begging for scraps of food and coins from passing strangers. I'll see to it that she has everything she could ever need, and I'll keep her warm and I'll keep her safe. And then what, my lady? Who knows? Maybe within time she'll become as devoted as you are. I doubt that, my lady. Nobody could become as devoted to you as I am. Probably not, but she can be a useful ally in the future. But you're the great dark witch. You don't need allies. I don't need them, it's true, but even if I get lonely from time to time. My lady. Neve looks into my eyes. Her own are wide, fringed with very long lashes. Aren't I enough for you? You're enough, Neve, and you keep me company like nobody else. But this morning I was hit by an epiphany. I want to try and make the most of my life. My new life here in Azza. want to see as many sights as I can and meet a lot of interesting people. And most of all, I want my own harem of cute new number. A harem! Neve's lower lip trembles. Am I not cute enough for you? When Neve looks at me winsomely like this, her eyes large and imploring. She certainly does look cute. What can I tell her? Said, you're the cutest girl I knew. Of course you're the cutest. Of course you're cute enough for me, Neve. You're the cutest girl I knew. Neve blinks at me, her eyes large as though she can barely believe the words she's hearing. Do you really mean that? That's right. I caress Neve's cheek with my fingertips. The moment my skin touches hers, Neve sighs softly and almost melts on the top. She nuzzles her cheek against my palm, her dark hair brushing against my skin. The sensation tickles a little, but I don't mind. How could I mind anything Neve does? She's far too adorable. All of a sudden, Neve's eyes snap open. She moves away from me nimbly, her hands clasped together at her front. I apologize if I stepped out of line, my lady. It's alright, I don't mind. Thank you. But if you really think I'm cute, then why did you take that girl in? I just thought it would be interesting, and I did feel sorry for her. She doesn't have any family, and she has nowhere else to go. I couldn't let her roam the streets again, not when I have the ability to help her. So she was a charity case. I suppose so. Doesn't hurt that she has a pretty face either, but saying that pretty much might upset Neve again. Oh, my lady. Neve's eyes soften. If that was the case, you should have just said that at the start. Perhaps I should have known, though. You've always been a kind person. I think you might be too kind for your own good. I still can't say I like this little thief, but I'll do my best to put up with her. It might be a challenge, but I like challenges. Neve clenches her hands together at her front. I'll do my very best. Whew, I've just realized I've been recording for 2 hours just about. Shit. A few days pass and Fion seems to be getting accustomed to her new life. Ugh, why is there so much culture-y? Though she was a little perturbed at the first of living in a large castle, I think she's made her transition between her old and new lives fairly well. I thought this was supposed to be poisonous. Fion sits at a long dinner table in the middle of the dining hall staring at her dinner cautiously. And this a lot of food? It seems like such a waste. Well, maybe she has it completely acclimatized to her newer surroundings, but she's doing her best. Fion picks up her leg of mutton with her fingers. She brings it to her lips, ready to take a bite when... Excuse me, Miss Fion. Neve appears at Fion's side, her eyes narrowed and her lips pressed. You're not supposed to eat with your hands. Eh? Then how am I supposed to put the food in my mouth? This is what all these forks are for. You do know what a fork is, don't you? Of course I know what a fork is. I might not be the smartest girl in the world, but I ain't an idiot. Then you should know, I hope, that forks are typically used to eat one's food, not one's fingers. Yeah, I got that, but there aren't so many of them. Fion looks at the array of forks around her plate dubiously. I didn't know which one to pick up. So you thought it would be better to pick up food with your bare hands like an animal. Say that again. Gladly. I asked, did you think it would be better to... Neve, please. I'll hold one hand up, signaling silence. Of course, being the lady at the castle, I sit at the very head of the table. My chair is the fanciest of all. It's lined with plush red cushions, and the legs and the arms are made of the most expensive mahogany. And you too, Fion. Don't eat like a commoner in my presence. I've got news for you, Lady Viola. Fion says my name with no small amount of contempt. She really is a feisty girl. I was living in the streets up until a few days ago. You was the one who decided to take me in, and if you don't like me, you can always throw me back onto the streets. I don't care. Now, why would I do a foolish thing like that? What? I believe I've explained this to you already, Fion, multiple times in fact. I enjoy having you around. Very cute, and it seems a shame to let you wander the streets, dirty and tired and hungry. A girl's true charms can only be discovered after she's had a decent night's sleep and there's a bit of food inside her. So that's why you're taking care of me, because you think I'm pretty? I wouldn't go through all this effort if I thought you were hideously unattractive. You're so shallow. I simply have a healthy appreciation for attractive girls. You should count yourself lucky, Miss Fion. If Milady had not taken such an inexplicable shine to you, you would not be sitting at the table right now. I don't want to sit at this table. This food is too rich. There are too many forks. All this talk about manners is making my head hurt. Then would you rather live on the streets and sleep in the dirt? At least I wouldn't need to know the difference between a salad and a fish fork then. Oh my, you look so grumpy. Is my hospitality that unpleasant? I thought this food would be to your liking, but if you are unhappy with the meal my servants have prepared, I could always give a simple dinner of bread and gruel instead. I never said the food itself was bad, you know. That's what I thought. I smile smugly. Fion might dislike all the rules and etiquette that come with the meals like this, but she doesn't dislike the food itself. She's a small, skinny thing. It's probably because she's been living hand to mouth for so many years, staying alive by scrounging whatever scraps she can. Though she won't admit to it, she's so adorably stubborn. The meals that I've been giving her must be some of the best she's tasted in her life. She was as thin as a rail when I first found her, scrabbling in the dirt of the for her mother's supposed precious ring. Now she's put on a bit of weight, and her cheeks have a nice, healthy glow to them. Her hair looks softer too. I shampoo it myself every night and comb out all the knots. She's becoming a precious little gem, and I don't want to let her go. I still need to polish her a bit more so I can really make her sparkle. Now, if eating with me is truly such a chore, perhaps I can educate you. What do you mean? Fion gives me an uneasy look. Her eyes are narrowed. No offense, Lady Viola. She says my name with undisguised vitriol in a manner that suggests there's quite a bit of offense meant indeed. But if what you did to me the other day is any indication, I don't think you'd make a great teacher. How cruel. I'm doing this to help you, you know. I'm not so sure. I bet you're just doing this for your own amusement. That's the only reason you ever do anything, ain't it? Well, you got me there. You really are awful. I know, but you certainly seem to be benefiting from it. Benefiting? Fion raises an eyebrow. Don't make me laugh. I ain't been benefiting from this. But my maid has prepared your delicious feast, and you can sleep in a comfy bed instead of a street corner. How is this not an improvement from your old life? Sure, it might look like an improvement, but at what cost? My freedom. Keeping me here as a prisoner so you could do all kinds of horrible things to me. I just know it. Now, why would I do anything horrible to you? Why wouldn't you? You're the evil dark witch. Fion snorts. I don't mean to be rude or anything, milady, but you don't have a great track record of being nice so far. I did save you from the skeletons, remember? After you stole something from me. That was just punishment. Oh yeah, you did, so you could watch me scream. And squirm and beg afterwards. You didn't save me because you were worried about me. You did it because you wanted to punish me. You said so yourself. Well, after you threw me to that tree, let it have his way with me. I think I'd rather would have been torn about the skeletons. At least they wouldn't have revealed in humiliating ways, might as much as you have. Fion's cheeks are burning red with rage. She curls her hands into a fist and bangs the table, making the plates quite rattle. I ain't gonna sit here a moment longer and pretend to play nice with you. I'm sick of you, and sick of your fine food. And I wouldn't stay here a second longer if you would let me leave, but you won't. And I ain't a guest here, I'm a prisoner. And I ain't never gonna be your friend. I'm never gonna forgive you for what you did to me. I really can't stand you. Fion gives me a reproachable look and gets to her feet. She marches out to the dining room. Despite Neve's protests, her eyes narrowed. Neve watches her retreating back with a frown. I knew we should never have let that girl stay here. I can't believe she's throwing her hospitality back in your face like that. It's alright, Neve. It's to be expected. Maybe I did take things a bit too far back then. I'm not going back. It's too far at this point. I found arms folded and leaned back into my seat. I didn't expect it to go crazily. Either way, it was going to be like a Pushing Fion down into the mud would have been one thing, but letting that tree have its way with her was another. thing altogether. Any girl would find being abused in such a way humiliating, particularly in front of other people. I can't really blame Fion if she hates me. I got so caught up in thinking about my life in Azaf, free of rules and restrictions imposed upon me in the world, that I overstepped boundaries and went much too far. Perhaps I should apologize to Fion. As a great dark witch, I should be above apologizing to others. I'm sure that's what Neve would say, but I can't express a twinge of guilt in the pit of my stomach. Alright, I've made up my mind. Push my food to one side and get to my feet. I'm going to talk to Fion about what happened earlier, and I'm going to tell her that I'm sorry. But my lady! Neve stares at me, her eyes wide. You have absolutely nothing to apologize for. Damn, she's so passionate in saying that she couldn't even fucking say it the first time. Yep, I knew she'd say that. I called it. You shouldn't demean yourself by apologizing to a commoner. She stole from you first. She deserved everything she got. Maybe not, but I didn't have to be quite that cruel. I don't want her to hate me. It's such a waste given how cute she is. I think I need to set this right. I save. Fion, I thought you might be in here. I entered the thief's girl room without knocking on the door. As I expected, Fiona is lying face down on the clean white sheets, her arms wrapped around a pillow. She looks so small and frail like this. Another painful stab of guilt pierces my stomach. I guess I really did go too far, huh? This bedroom looks almost identical to mine. I'm the one who furnished this castle. All the rooms were designed with the personal preferences in mind. I'm fond of large, towering pieces of furniture and beds big enough to lose oneself in, but this is probably too fancy for Fiona's tastes. She looks like she's being swallowed by my bed sheets. This whole time I've forced my preferences onto Fiona without taking a moment to consider how she might feel. I should have been more considerate. Fiona must be thinking that too, because she sits up on her bed and glares at me. I didn't say you can come in. I know you did, but I want to talk to you. Well, I don't want to talk to you. Like I said, I don't even want to see your face. Oh my, then turn around and look at the wall real quick. At least let me say it. I cover my cheek with one hand and sigh. Is the arrangement of my facial features really that displeasing to you? I was under the impression my looks were at least above average, perhaps not. Your face has nothing to do with it. You could be the prettiest woman in the whole kingdom and you still would have a rotten heart. Do you think I'm the prettiest woman in the kingdom? Fiona squeezes a little closer to her chest. Her cheeks turn red, turn pink. That ain't got nothing to do with it, with anything, damn it. Just listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. I'm listening now, I promise. Well, I know your promises are worth. True. How cruel I might do wicked things, but I never break my promises. Aren't you the one who fed me a tissue of lies back in the forest? I only did it to survive. I wouldn't swindle people if I didn't have to. You bully young girls just because you can. It's totally different. You're despicable and not adorable. You are pretty, damn it. You're way prettier than I imagined, but that only makes it worse. It'd be easier to hate you if you were an ugly old witch, like the stories say, but you look like an ordinary woman. Oh dear. I sigh and shake my head, and what else did the story say? People think you eat babies and grind their bones down to make your potions, amongst other things. How barbaric. I would never do anything that gruesome. So you wouldn't hurt a baby, would you? At least that's something. Of course not. They don't have nearly enough meat on them to make delicious dishes, and grinding their bones into powder sounds like far too much effort. Ugh. Fion pulls a face. I take back everything I just said. There's no saving a depraved woman like you. Maybe not, but I'm not the ogre you seem to think I am. I did a bit of thinking, and I glanced down at the polished wooden floor, suddenly cowed and frowned. I really am sorry for what I did to you. Huh? Come again? I said I'm sorry. Do not make me say it the third time. If I do, I might do something again. I shouldn't have pushed you into that tree. It was wrong of me. Well, it's easy to say that, but it won't change the past. I can't truly trust you because you apologize. I know that. That's why I'm willing to show you how sorry I am through my actions. I'm like, well, I mean, same thing goes for you. Is there anything you would like me to do for you, Fion? No favors too small. You could always let me go. You live on the streets again. I couldn't bear that. That sounds more like inflicting cruelty upon you than a kindness. Can't you think a little bigger? I'm a powerful dark witch, you know. There's almost nothing in the world that I can't make possible with my magic. Really? Just now noticed a plane in the background. I noticed the train earlier. I have not noticed the plane. We're gonna end off this episode soon, by the way. Fion sits up in a little chair at this. Her attention is piqued. There are no limits. Well, there are one or two. Maybe I shouldn't have spoken so carelessly. I can't bring people back from the dead. That isn't possible. Huh? Fion noticeably deflates her shoulder slump. But you have that necromancer's necklace or whatever. I do, but that necklace can't reverse the state of death. It can make skeletons rise from the earth and animate corpses, but they're not truly alive. Like you saw yourself, the skeletons weren't real flesh and blood and humans. They were liches, animated only by their desire to kill. If somebody you love has died, it would be far kinder to let them rest. If you revive them, they wouldn't be the same as you remember. In fact, they would probably be a danger to you. I see. Fion sighs and draws her knees up beneath her chin. Well, so much for that. Some all-powerful dark witch you are. I'm warning you for your sake, Fion. Yeah. Another sigh. Well, there's one other thing you can help me with, I guess. If you're really willing to apologize, that is. Oh, and what is that? To explain, I guess I had to tell you a little bit about my past. So you're going to give me a history lesson. It's nothing that grandiose. It's a sad story about an ill-fated family who suffered because of the community they lived in. You see, I was born in a city called Mutier. It's a very pretty city. Well, it's a very pretty city with lots of beautiful white buildings everywhere. I guess it's kind of famous, I'll say. Mutier is one of the biggest in Azov. There are a lot of markets there, much better than the one in Hawthorne. If my memory serves me correctly, I purchased most of my furniture that decorates my home for Mutier. My mother died a little while after she gave birth to me. I never really knew her, so I've never missed her. As for my dad, however, I really did love him. He was the most wonderful dad a girl could have wished for. He used to play with me all the time, and he always bought me new clothes and toys whenever he could. He spent all his money keeping me and my big sister Holly happy. We were really happy back in those days too. My father owned a small grocery store. We bought fruits. He bought fruits and vegetables from local farmers for cheap prices and sold them on at higher rates, which is what you gotta do. He worked for long hours and never complained. My father was a kind patient, and he never complained about anything, even when I was being a pest. We had a nice house, and my sister and I always had pretty clothes to wear with matching ribbons in our hair. I'm getting to the point where I have to slow down reading because my throat's getting so dry. To put it in perspective, I was planning on recording for 30 minutes. I've been recording for 2 hours. So I've been talking like for 2 hours. That's also why I've stopped doing voices. Matching ribbons in her hair. We had everything we could have wanted, and I was never sad or lonely, at least until one day. Fion winces. The city guards knocked on the door of our shop when we were all closed for evening and demanded to speak with my father. Fion's voice trembles, her body trembles too. I want to rest a comfortable hand on her shoulder and offer her a few reassuring words, but I know I can't. I don't have that right. I made Fion suffer a lot over the last few days, and I know she doesn't trust me. I don't think I would trust me either. Said all I can do is ask her, as gently as possible, what happened. The guard said that they've heard suspicious reports about my father's behavior. They believed his business was thriving because of unlawful business practices. Like what? They thought my dad was buying vegetables from dark witches, which had been grown with illegal magics. Why would they think that? Because people started complaining about my family. They filed reports with the city guard saying our food made them sick. They accused my dad of being a dark witch sympathizer, and I said he was trying to poison everyone. Is there any truth to those rumors? Of course not. My dad did some business with witches, but that's only because he felt sorry for them. Nobody else was buying their stuff, you see. My dad just wanted to help people. He's only ever wanted to help people. And then city folk used that as an excuse to attack us. They were jealous of us because of our nice house and nice clothes, as they decided to bring us down. The city guards came to our house late at night, and they took our father away. They held him in prison and tortured him, trying to get a confession for a crime he'd never committed, until he died. Fion sniffs, her shoulders shake. Dad was already weak before they imprisoned him. He still hadn't gotten over mother, and he's never been the healthiest of people. And after that, my sister and me were on our own. We couldn't pay for our nice house, so we were thrown out to the streets, and nobody would help us. They all said we deserved it. I was only 10 years old at the time. My sister was 16. And what happened to her? How did you get separated? I decided to leave her by myself. My sister had to take on odd jobs to afford food for the two of us, but there wasn't enough money. She worked long and hard, but she didn't eat enough. She always saved the best bits of food for me. She got so thin and pale I couldn't help but worry about her. I worried I was making her sick, so you ran away. That's right. I left Mute here and I didn't tell my sister. I ran away to start my own life when I was 12, but I never really expected to live that long. I just wanted to help my sister. I didn't want to be the burden on her. But you're still alive. I'm tougher than I thought. I learned how to live. I learned how to be light with my fingers and stole what I needed to survive. I got strong. I forgot about my past. I just focused on the present. I was so busy worrying about me and how to get food that I stopped thinking about my sister. I haven't had the luxury to care about anyone other than myself for years, but now... Fion's brows furrows. Now I've met you, Miss Dark Witch. I still can't say I trust you, in fact. It's the exact opposite of it. You might not eat babies like the stories say, but I don't think you're a good woman. If you were, you never would have pushed me into that tree like that. Apologies don't matter, they can't change what you've already done, but Fion's eyes bore into mine. I don't think I've ever seen her look this serious before. You're supposed to have a lot of magical power, right? That is correct. Then maybe you can help me. I never had a chance to look for my sister before, and even if I did, I doubt I'd get very far on my own. But if I had you with me, we might have a chance at discovering her. I'd be able to see Holly again, and I'd be able to apologize for leaving all those years ago without saying goodbye. I really do miss her. I miss her more than anything, and I'd do anything to see her again. If you could help me find her, I might even forgive you. Maybe. And what are my odds? About 50-50. Can't say that I like those odds very much, but I clench my hand into my fist and my front. As the great dark witch Viola, I am not one to be underestimated. If anybody can find your sister, I can. You mean? Fion stares at me and her lips pursed in a small ring. You'd really look for me? Look for her for me? Well, why not? For your forgiveness, I'm willing to do anything. But why do you care so much? I figured you just wanted me to stick around so you could play with me. I thought you didn't care about my feelings. You thought wrong. Sometimes I can get a bit carried away and then I do things I regret later. That's putting it lightly. But I do really want to despise me. I really don't want you to despise me. Seeing you look at me with those eyes of hatred is far too depressing. You have a pretty face. If you scowl too much, you'll get wrinkles. What a shallow reason for wanting to help somebody. But I do want to help you. Reasons be damned. Isn't that enough? I don't know. Do you really think you can find Holly? If she's anywhere, she'll probably be in Motier, but she could have moved anywhere for all I know. If she ain't there anymore, she could be anywhere. Oh, ye of little faith, don't look so gloomy. I smiled cheerfully. It doesn't matter if she's in Motier or not. She won't be able to escape from me no matter where she is. I'll find her where she's hiding, I'll drag her up by her hair. Then you can finally reunite with your sister's story will have a happy ending. I can guarantee it as the Dark Witch. No. I shake my head. Right now, I'm not the Dark Witch. Then who are you? Well, why isn't that obvious? A monkey's uncle. That's what I feel like right now, but no. Right now, I'm your fairy godmother. Well, I'll go to Motier tomorrow. You, Neve, and me, we'll go hunt your sister down, I promise. And as you should know, I don't break my promises. I'll do anything if it will make Fion forgive me. It might not be much, but I hope this little gesture is enough to show her that I really do care. So this is Motier. We're gonna end it off here too, by the way. It's been such a long time since I came back here. As soon as I get some fucking music going, I kind of feel nostalgic. Fiona holds one hand to her chest, perhaps her head hurts as she looks around. I look around with her, just as curious, but less emotionally invested. Right here. Motier looks like it did during my days of playing Azav all night. And I'm gonna end it off here. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This is a long-ass session. Did not expect to play this game this long. I just got captivated into it for a long period of time. Anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I did, and this is the reason why I recorded for so long. I've done it for over 2 hours now. This is something I don't typically do with recordings. So, hopefully you guys really did enjoy it and want to see more of it on the channel, because I do want to bring more to the channel. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, click that like whenever you guys are new to the channel. click that subscribe button to meet me in another one video. So if you guys wish to be notified when I upload, click that notification bell so you guys can be notified in your email and on YouTube when I upload. Other than that, hopefully you all have a great day, and I will catch you homies next LowTide.